before East Coast was built, we used to leave our children with different people. We didn't know if people would feed them or change them or take good care of them. When the center was built, we had a relief. We're like, we know they're in good hands. They're well taken care of. They're feeding them breakfast, lunch, and a snack. And they're learning. They're not just in a room watching TV, playing around. No, in East Coast, they're learning. Their letters, colors, stuff.
These children need this. They don't have anywhere else to go. They would be with babysitters, they'd be at the hotel, or they'd be in the fields with the parents, being exposed to the chemicals and the extreme heat and all that. Some of the families are migrant, they move around, so we want to try to make their lives as stable as possible when they're here with us.
U.S. labor laws allow up to 500,000 children as young as 12 to work in agriculture. Many work for more than 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. Some children start working part-time at age 6. Only 55% of child farm workers graduate from high school because many have no other choice but to work in the fields.
I was born in Mexico, Guanajuato. When I was 3 years old, my mom, she brought me to the United States legally, and she worked in the tomatoes with my father. And I recall my dad would always say, let her pick, let her learn, you know. And that's where I learned picking tomatoes. But when I was 15 years old, I decided to run away for my first time from my mom. I was basically wanted to be free. And after that, I seen the 10th grade was getting harder. The 11th grade was even harder. And I actually stopped at 11th grade. When I dropped off, I searched for jobs. And basically all the jobs were requiring a high school diploma or a GED. So my option was to work in the fields. Here in Jennings, Florida, we stay at a motel. It's a pretty big motel. Just one room, you have a bed, a TV, and a bathroom. It's my only option right now.
Like thousands of farm workers across the country, DNA migrates with her family every 6 months, living in motels or farm camps. Her rent is between $150 and $200 a week. Depending on the type of work, she is paid an hourly minimum wage or based on the number of tomatoes she picks. Right now, the going rate is $4 a bucket.
Farm work, it's exhausted. It's hard. Being in the sun and being on your knees all day, getting sweaty, dirty, come home. All you do is cook, take a bath, nap. We're providing for everybody else. If it was not for immigrants, you wouldn't have no tomatoes or no apples or no orange or no blueberries, vegetables or fruit. When I had my first child, I didn't see it hard. But as my family started growing, it got harder. You have to think about when your child is 5 years old, he has to go to elementary. And you think about it, oh, if I take him out, is he gonna learn or he's gonna stay back? And there's a point where you just say, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna settle in one place for the good of my family and the good of my children.
I started working in the fields around when I was 17. Being in the fields, I didn't really learn how to speak until I was 5. because I didn't have no education background. My train of thought as well as my parent was like, this is not for you. You have to strive for better, be better for yourself, be a leader. And then I continued working until I was around 18, 20, and then I stopped working. And then I came to East Coast.
East Coast Migrant Head Start Project has 38 centers. In 2016, the organization opened a center in Jennings where they teach and care for kids up to 6 years old.
There's nothing around here for them to go to or attend until they go to kindergarten. We provide high quality education. We're not just a child care center that we just babysit children. We actually teach the children. And for the preschool classroom, we get them ready so they can enter kindergarten. And so we pretty much take care of all areas that the children need.
I go inside the classroom and I see teachers reading to babies, and I see teachers sitting with them, teaching them their names, numbers, letters.
If you're happy and you know it's right.
East Coast, it's a blessing because when my second child was 2 years old, he was diagnosed with autism. When I had him at the house, he was getting aggressive and he was getting a lot of meltdowns. He started crying for no reason. When he started East Coast, he had less meltdowns, less aggression, and they explained to me that an autistic kid needs a routine. If you change that routine, the child gets exhausted, he gets madder and more aggressive.
Their minds are so absorbent like sponges at this young age that if we don't start them early, once they do to get to kindergarten, they're going to be so far behind. And we've seen it with children that go to kindergarten too early. If they don't speak English, they don't understand English, they're going to have a very hard time in this public school system because some public school systems do not provide translating. So if we can teach them the basics to know, or how to say certain things, their success rate is very high.
The main thing is for our parents to head to work knowing that their kids are safe here, having their child fed, having their child know something, leaving each day learning something new.
My goal is to work in East Coast. That's my goal. Get my GED and work in East Coast, buy a house, and give my family, my children a better life, and show my children that it's never too late.